Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Saturday the 23rd of March 2024, and we have 51 events to cover going all the way back to the year 1400. Starting with the most recent event which happened 3 years ago. A container ship runs aground and obstructs the Suez Canal for 6 days. 4 years ago in 2020, Prime Minister Boris Johnson puts the United Kingdom into its first national lockdown in response to COVID-19. 5 years ago in 2019, the Kazakh capital of Astana was renamed to Nur Sultan. In the same year, the US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces captured the town of Baghouz in eastern Syria, declaring military victory over the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant after 4 years of fighting, although the group maintains a scattered presence and sleeper cells across Syria and Iraq. 6 years ago in 2018, President of Peru, Pedro Pablo Kuczynski, resigns from the presidency amid a mass corruption scandal before certain impeachment by opposition majority Congress of Peru. 14 years ago in 2010, the Affordable Care Act becomes law in the United States. 15 years ago in 2009, FedEx Express Flight 80, a McDonnell Douglas MD-11 flying from Guangzhou, China, crashes at Tokyo's Narita International Airport, killing both the captain and the co-pilot. 16 years ago in 2008, official opening of Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad, India. 21 years ago in 2003, Battle of Nisiraya, first major conflict during the invasion of Iraq. 23 years ago in 2001, the Russian Mir space station is disposed of, breaking up in the atmosphere before falling into the southern Pacific Ocean near Fiji. 25 years ago in 1999, gunmen assassinate Paraguay's vice president, Luis Maria Argaña. 28 years ago in 1996, Taiwan holds its first direct elections and chooses Lee Teng-hui as president. "30 years ago in 1994, at an election rally in Tijuana, Mexican presidential candidate Luis Donaldo Colosio is assassinated by Mario Alberto Martinez. 'In the same year, a United States Air Force F-16 aircraft collides with a US Air Force C-130 at Pope Air Force Base and then crashes, killing 24 United States Army soldiers on the ground. This later became known as the Green Ramp disaster. Also in the same year, Aeroflot Flight 593 crashed into the Kuznetsk-Alatau mountain, Komarevo Oblast, Russia, killing 75. 33 years ago in 1991, the Revolutionary United Front, with support from the Special Forces of Charles Taylor's National Patriotic Front of Liberia, invades Sierra Leone in an attempt to overthrow Joseph Saidu Moma, sparking the 11-year Sierra Leone Civil War. 36 years ago in 1998, Angolan and Cuban forces defeat South Africa in the Battle of Quito Cuanavale. 41 years ago in 1983, Strategic Defense Initiative, President Ronald Reagan makes his initial proposal to develop technology to intercept enemy missiles. 42 years ago in 1982, Guatemala's government, headed by Fernando Romeo Lucas Garcia, is overthrown in a military coup by right-wing General Efrain Rios Montt. 44 years ago in 1980, Archbishop Oscar Romero of El Salvador gives his famous speech appealing to men of the El Salvadoran Armed Forces to stop killing the Salvadorans. 46 years ago in 1978, the first UNIFIL troops arrived in Lebanon for peacekeeping mission along the Blue Line. 47 years ago in 1977, the first of the Nixon interviews, 12 will be recorded over 4 weeks, is videotaped with British journalist David Frost interviewing former United States President Richard Nixon about the Watergate scandal and the Nixon tapes. "59 years ago in 1965, NASA launches Gemini 3, the United States' first two-man spaceflight, crew Gus Grissom and John Young. 68 years ago in 1956, Pakistan becomes the first Islamic republic in the world. This date is now celebrated as Republic Day in Pakistan. 84 years ago in 1940, the Lahore Resolution, Qaradat-e-Pakistan or Qaradat-e-Lahore, is put forward at the annual General Convention of the All India Muslim League. 85 years ago in 1939, the Hungarian Air Force attacks the headquarters of the Slovak Air Force in Spišská Nová Ves, killing 13 people and beginning the Slovak-Hungarian War. 89 years ago in 1935, signing of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Philippines. 91 years ago in 1933, the Reichstag passes the Enabling Act of 1933, making Adolf Hitler dictator of Germany. 93 years ago in 1931, Bhagat Singh, Shivaram Rajguru and Sukhdev Thapar are hanged for the killing of a deputy superintendent of police during the Indian independence movement. 105 years ago in 1919, in Milan, Italy, Benito Mussolini founds his fascist political movement. 106 years ago in 1918, in the First World War, on the third day of the German Spring Offensive, the 10th Battalion of the Royal West Kent Regiment is annihilated, with many of the men becoming prisoners of war. 111 years ago in 1913, a tornado outbreak kills more than 240 people in the central United States, while an ongoing flood in the Ohio River watershed was killing 650 people. 115 years ago in 1909, Theodore Roosevelt leaves New York for a post-presidency safari in Africa. The trip is sponsored by the Smithsonian Institution and National Geographic Society. 119 years ago in 1905, Eleftherios Venizelos calls for Crete's reunion with Greece and begins what is to be known as the Pharisee Revolt. 123 years ago in 1901, Emilio Aguinaldo, only president of the First Philippine Republic, is captured at Palanan, Isabela, by the forces of American General Frederick Funston. 135 years ago in 1889, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is established by Mirza Ghulam Ahmed in Qadian, British India. 136 years ago in 1888, in England, the Football League, the world's oldest professional association football league, meets for the first time. 139 years ago in 1885, in the Sino-French War, Chinese victory in the Battle of Phu Lam Tau, near Hung Hoa, northern Vietnam. 145 years ago in 1879, War of the Pacific. The Battle of Topata, the first battle of the war, is fought between Chile and the joint forces of Bolivia and Peru. 156 years ago in 1868, the University of California is founded in Oakland, California, when the Organic Act is signed to law. 162 years ago in 1862, in the American Civil War. The First Battle of Kernstown, Virginia, marks the start of Stonewall Jackson's Valley Campaign. Although a Confederate defeat, the engagement distracts Federal efforts to capture Richmond. 167 years ago in 1857, Alicia Otis's first elevator is installed at 488 Broadway, New York City. 176 years ago in 1848, the ship John Wycliffe arrives at Port Chalmers carrying the first Scottish settlers for Dunedin, New Zealand. Otago province is founded. 185 years ago in 1839, a massive earthquake destroys the former capital Inwa of the Konbaung dynasty, present-day Myanmar. 203 years ago in 1821, Greek War of Independence, battle and fall of the city of Kalamata. 218 years ago in 1806, after travelling through the Louisiana Purchase and reaching the Pacific Ocean, explorers Lewis and Clark and their Corps of Discovery begin their arduous journey home. 223 years ago in 1801, Tsar Paul I of Russia is struck with a sword, then strangled, and finally trampled to death inside his bedroom at St. Michael's Castle. 249 years ago in 1775, American Revolutionary War. Patrick Henry delivers his speech, "Give me liberty or give me death," at St. John's Episcopal Church, Richmond, Virginia. 456 years ago in 1568, the Peace of Longjumeau is signed, ending the second phase of the French Wars of Religion. 484 years ago in 1540, Waltham Abbey is surrendered to King Henry VIII of England, the last religious community to be closed during the dissolution of the monasteries. 624 years ago in the year 1400, the Tran dynasty of Vietnam is deposed after 175 years of rule by Ho Khoi Lai, a court official. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.